All praises, Kembo na Tatanzambi ya Mazulu, Kimfumu Kyakuisa. Glory, glory to the Father Almighty. May his kingdom come down here. Nzambi Mawesha, Nzambi Monene, Nzambi Ampungu Tulendo, the Father who brought us out of Egypt of Ingipiti. But sadly, our people decided to go back into Ingipiti, which many of us are not aware of this because of the deception. But today, we know we talk about Hanukkah, the time, and Christmas, and all this stuff that's going on. And of course, for those of us who have come to the knowledge of the truth, that leper Cain has once again deceived the whole world. And the Bana Betu have fallen into the trap of not being the Nzoan Zombie of Kusatatan Zombie, but becoming the worshiping in the temples of Cain. Okay. And today we're going to talk about the Phoenician Empire because they're connected to the Greeks and the Cain in the book of Maccabee, and also what happened with Gog and Magog and those type of things. Why I talk about this and the fact that everyone, that whole Gog and Magog is all under Amon-Ra and Cain deceivers because of the fact that the world's living in the cities of Cain, but have been blocked from this knowledge because of those who work with Cain in secret that have taken the vow to keep their mouths shut. And of course, they take it to their grave, or they'll die or whatever with it. And if anybody breaks the oath, that's considered a really bad thing. And of course, if you don't pray to Cain, then you're going to get a lot of people come down hard on you. Okay. That's what a Mayamona is. A Masiah is one who separates you from Cain. Okay. That's the whole concept. And that's why the Bakongo Kingunza, the Baklistu way, was never satanic, but we made it satanic when we incorporated the Canaanite beliefs, which go back to the Hamitic tribes that Tatanzambi told us not to do, that were adopted by the children of Yapeta. So I will Kukwisi Mbote, Mbote Sambwari, we welcome you. Bana Betu scattered across the earth, non-Bana Betu scattered. For those who don't understand, we're going to talk about the mark of Cain, because that's what the world is being taught by. Okay, they're being taught by the mark of Cain, and they're not being sealed with the seal of the Most High. Okay, the pastors, the imams, the rabbis, the priests of all of the religions that you go to, they're all working for Cain. Okay, and they're never going to tell you that because you're not supposed to know that. Okay, all the nations of all the children of Noah have been deceived by leper Cain. Okay, and of course this is going to be a fight for this broadcast because we're getting ready to leave Ingipiti. People have already started to leave. Those who have been called to leave early. The problem is, in every country and in every city you live in, and every leader, they work for Cain. Okay, and so now what Tata Kongo is getting ready to do is to expel all of the leadership of Cain. Okay, it's going to be a massive event of all those who choose to work for the imposter, Amon-Ra, will now be exposed, and their entire deception, because you've been under the false Messiah, the wizard. But they've tricked you into the fact that you didn't think you were when you are. And of course, the Wizard of Oz is mocking the 12 tribes of captivity, the 12 kingdoms of Congo. And of course, you see people talking about anti-Semite, this and this and that. We hate it. I was like, it's the problem is people are believing that Gog or the converted Phoenicians are the descendants of Abana Sake Okubi. Like I say, if they want to believe that, that's their choice. But it's now King Kongo is going to expose it all. Tatanzambi and Fumu Chulendo is the God. See, you have been made to believe that you're praying to the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, when in reality, you're praying to the God that hates the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob because of the sorcery of the Bantu who said he wanted to be like Isaiah. Okay, and also because of the Sanhedrin who did not want the Bana Betu to get their way when Rome occupied us, and that's all because of what happened with Yaoundé Maccabee our ancestors, the Bana Betu, said we would rather always be with the heathen, and we've never learned to stop doing this. That's why you cannot break people. That's why it's so hard to break the Bana Betu Negroes, our people, away from this, because we never learn to stop worshiping Baal. There's always going to be those who want to attach themselves to the temple that Solomon built that was Moloch instead of King Kongo. Okay, everybody want to worship the frog god rather than the Most High. Okay, that he mocked as the gorilla god. Okay, so we're going to get into that today a little bit, because this has been the biggest lie on Bantu people that have ever happened, because Mfumu Yisu Kuswa Kongo was born around the Ipaseka, the Passover, and he died on the Ipaseka, the Passover, and it's not according to the cycle that Rome did. Rome is the man of sin who changed times and laws, the Church of Laodicea. Okay, the other churches, they know it, but because they've been forced to fall in line with it, they are now capitulated under it. That's why Toko was needed to come and tell the people, hey, you're talking to Nimrod, you're talking to Cain. Okay, and in Solele, when the Kingdom of Congo and Totila was in effect 500 years ago, we were being tricked to go back to Cain by the Levites, the Malawi, and the priests, the Gangan Zambi, who were rejecting the fact that they're supposed to be the spiritual Zoan Zambi, because they wanted the physical temple, like how they were that was happening when the trickery that happened with God, just like them. Because who do they think this is what we did to them? Okay, so when they came in saying that they were the tribe of Dan or Madonna, okay, it was all, and our people believed it. That's on them. Okay, we should have said no. We don't need to be or disagree. Okay, but that's the whole reason why we're now where we are today, is because our ancestors who chose to make mistakes continuously keep us with the bad shepherd that they don't even see. And see, now to try to tell them this, you're the idiot, because that's how the wizard works. All right, I'm going to do my intro. I'm going to do a song. It's that song that goes to the hymn of We're Marching to Zion. All right. Manakumbase, Imana Masari Seto. It's a big fight, people. Jezebel's spirit is starting to rise up stronger and stronger with the witch and the warlock. As we suspected, the devil's time is short, and he's going to continue. That's why we even see them say, we're going to fight this. This is what Cain is always going to do. The Mark of Cain people are always going to say they're going to fight King Kongo. They're not going to stop. They're not going to give it up. They're going to always keep fighting, and it's pointless because he's always beaten them. And it's like he's beating them from the foundation. But like I said, he's stroking their ego until he's going to embarrass the whole lot of all of them and show them, you are not the gods of this earth. I am. And the fact that the Christians think that they're talking to him, when in reality they're talking to Amon-Ra, you can't tell them that, because that's why you tell people to their blue in the face, the Christmas tree is a phallic symbol. That's how we're getting cursed with a sex cult. The same with the obelisk in Washington, D.C. It's the phallic of Amon-Ra. It's the phallic of Cain, okay? The Statue of Liberty is Sol Invictus, but they're going to keep telling you, oh, no, that's not true. Of course, because Cain is the wizard. He's going to keep telling people, oh, no, that's not true, okay? Because they're on the people who are under the mark of Cain will never stop being like Cain unless they wake up from Cain's lies. Those who are not supposed to be under the mark of Cain will never give it up if they choose to stay blind. Because that's when the Messiah said, the blind lead the blind into a ditch. What does that mean? Those who are under the mark of Cain are going to lead you to the ditch. Okay? And that's what he was talking about. Bana Betu, we were never the mark of Cain. But they tricked us into thinking that we were. We needed to be saved when we didn't. Okay? All right. Again, Salakambote, Oxikamene, Mbote, Betwabu, Bana Betu. We're going to try to go back to our original languages as much as possible. Those who are learning the Kikongo, that's wonderful. I'm doing my best to continue to learn. Okay. And it's starting to make a difference in how we understand the scriptures, because the original tongue is what they don't want people to know. All right. Senwizi mikwizi du uyave nu kembela okunga wanu bongela nwayikama muyimbila ikunda kyandowa nwanzingulu kanga setwendi kujoni kumosi tukwenda mbanza inowete mbanza velela. Mbanza means city, the city of the Most High. Tantu, see, people have heard of that. Tantu, like the Native Americans, like, no, that was our word. Tantu, sona, mbula, butanga, tutangama, oyena landia fumu, endinga senuzangula. Nwamwanga nisowa yo yese yo mora setwendi kuzoni kumosi tukwenda umbanza niyowete umbanza vela masanga menowa nutoma kungula Mpasia zoze ziva kuzona tu salungana ansia Emmanuel sina Emmanuel setwendi kuzoni kumosi tukwenda umbanza niyawete umbanza velela setwendi kujoni kumosi tukwenda umbanza niyawete umbanza velela. And I'll share the song here in a minute with you off of my thing. All right, we're going to do the intro. Once again, I don't have the rights to it. It's not for me to redistribute it in any way, but for me to do the edification of this channel. I do not own the copyrights. The real lion is rising up against the imposter. Here we go. praises. Kembo na Tata Zambi. Kembo, hallelujah. Once again, we're going to talk about why, like I said, we are in Babylon, people. And that's why I say we cannot wake people up that are going to stay asleep with the Jezebel spirit. This is their this is who they are. This is what they want to worship. This is what they want to do. It's our job to get people to understand that our people should be leaving this mindset. If they're going to stay, if they're going to be a part of it, that's why it says you can't let, you got to shake the sandals. Okay. All right. I'm going to share my screen, and then we'll play the song a little later. I'll play it as we're leaving. We're going to, because it's time for us to get ready to get out of Ingipiti, the land of captivity, all over the place, even in the land that we have been given when Ingipiti has taken over. The Most High is taken away. Amon-Ra, all praises. Kembo. All right. It's trying to hide it. It's weird. What did it do? Hold on. For some reason, it didn't pull up the other. See, I'm telling you, we're running into some problems now. Because they don't want people to know this stuff. Now they're trying to be deceptive. There we go. All right. Colinto, as we know, it's not Corinthians. Corinthians is the Greek way to say it. We said it Colinto. We did not speak the Greek the way they did. We said it our way as Bana Betu. We didn't speak the Aramaic that they did either. Well, we did speak it, but we didn't. That wasn't our language. Lingala, Kikongo, Bantu languages. Okay. Remember, that's the language of the Phoenicians is what that was. Syria and all that, and we're going to get into their history. It talks about Corinto 14:38. But if someone doesn't recognize this, then let them remain unrecognized. So we're going to read the full chapter. Corinto, it's really Corinto to us, okay, is how he would have called it.
Colossians or
Corinthians.
Which one? One or two?
We're going to go to the first one, chapter 14, down to verse 36. Did the word of Tatanzambi. Now we don't. God is the dog God, so we're not going to recognize him today. But the word of that's bingo or Cain or all, we're gonna we know that the real creator is King Kongo, that the ones that they think they're talking to in Fumuyave. But, like I said, we're going to get to that part here. Did the word of Mfumu originate with you, or are you the only people bound to who it has reached? If anyone think he is a Nabi or prophet and is endowed with the Mwandavelana spirit, let him acknowledge what I am writing to you as a command of the Mfumu. But if anyone doesn't recognize this, then let him remain unrecognized. So that's why, those of us who are coming out and exposing the lies of leper Cain and Esau and the false gods of Nimrod and everything else that, in the pagan ways, if they don't want to recognize that we're under the authority to do this and they want to call us imposters, then let them stay there with that. Okay? Our job is to wake up the Muntu. If the Muntu don't want to wake up, let the Muntu stay asleep. The Negroes, the black, if they want to think that Cain is going to be their savior, the people with the mark of Cain the people who are marked with Cain, because they wanted to be like Cain when the Most High judged them back thousands of years ago, they don't know that they were living worse than the Native Americans when they found them in their history. Okay, they were not even able to do certain things because they had to fend for themselves. That's where the just us really comes from, because King Kongo cut them off. Okay, this starts with Canaan, this starts with Kaina. Okay, the Canaan was the spirit of Kaina. Okay, that's why he went and got the judgment that Tata Nzambi gave them as being the dogs, the word dog, and we're going to get to the word Maccabi. See, they're saying it means hammer, but it comes from, if you go to Makaba, that's a stone, okay, or what we call Tadi, Maccabi, Yaounde the stone. Okay, they're going to say it probably means hammer. It's like, no, that's how you know they don't even know what it means. Because what I did is I put in the word Maccabee and the word Maccabi. See, it also says the similar spellings Malawi, Sakai, Wasabi, Malabo, Maccabi. That's where he was, Yaounde Maccabi. That's why Kuswa Kongo said, and like he says, when the like in the days when Daniel prophesied, like what happened with this is why the Christians don't even know, when the abomination that makes desolate stands in the holy place. He was talking about when the Grecians came and put the bust of Zeus in the temple, and then they slaughtered the pig. All because our ancestors said we were better off with the heathen. And it's like we never learned. It's always been our problem. And we're always going to be mistreated like them because we're not supposed to be below. We're supposed to be above. That's why I talked about that word of the char and, oh, no, you're supposed to share. You're supposed to share with us. It's like, yeah, but we're supposed to share it our way, not their way. Because their way, you see how it looks like, right? They're not sharing it the way that it's all trickle down. Okay? The trickle down stuff. Oh, you get what we give you. Okay? That's not how we did it. We're supposed to be sharing a different way. Not the world isn't supposed to have people broke. That's how Tata Nzambi's like, hey, people aren't supposed to be broke if they're doing it my way. You're supposed to be in good standing with him. If you follow the true creator, you're not going to have people living in poverty, because the Most High shares everything with the people who love him. And that's how you know you're under Cain. He's a deceiver. He's got people rich, some people wealthy, super wealthy, some people wealthy or average, and then poor. Okay, that's not Tata Nzambi's way. Okay, that's not King Kongo. That's not how it works. His kingdom is all about everybody gets to be well off when you follow his way. That's why he says if you're going to be like Cain or you're going to be rejected, it's worse for you than Sodom and Gomorrah, but then also you're going to deal with the people who are getting paid off by the enemy. They're getting paid off to break the Most High's law, statutes, and commandments, and they think they're doing it for the right reasons when they're being led astray. That's why they're stacking paper instead of gold. Okay. All right. So What did I do? Where did it go? I thought I had it pulled up, but I guess it disappeared on me. All right, so we're gonna go. All right, so it happened after that time. Alexander, the son of Philip the Macedonian. Okay, Macedonia. Remember who was the god of the Macedonians, the Mesopotamians, and all that stuff. Okay, who came out of the land of Kittim and had smitten Darius, the king of the Persians and the Medes, that he reigned in his stead for the first over Grecians, the Greece. Okay, Kittim, you know where that is. If you look it up, that's the area of the where the Ashkenazi and the Gog and all the and Gomer and all that stuff comes from. Okay, and he made this is why they talk about it in the Bede that I was reading when he talked about the children of Yapeta, and I'll go back over that. And he made many wars and won them strongholds and slew the kings of the earth. And when he went through the ends of the earth, he took the spoils of many nations, insomuch that the earth was quiet before him, whereupon he was exalted and his heart was lifted up. And he gathered a mighty strong host and ruled over countries and nations and kings, and he became tributaries unto him. And after these things he fell sick and perceived that he would die. Wherefore he called his servants, such as were honorable and had been brought up with him from his youth, and parted his kingdom among them while he was yet alive. So Alexander reigned 12 years and then died. Now think about the 12, it was a 3. This is that all kind of, numerology. And his servants bare rule every one in his place. And after his death, they all put crowns upon themselves. So did their sons, many of them years, and evils were multiplied in the earth. So when you look at Alexander the Grecian, he was being used by Tata to bring about, but the Bana Betu we were still more, we were getting ourselves reestablished because we had come from Babylon, okay, and we were, and this is what happened to us. And after they came out, there came a wicked root, Antiochus, surnamed Epiphanes. So Antiochus Epiphanes, who the church of Antioch is named after, was a wicked guy. So who was he worshiping? He was Cain. Okay, so the son of Antiochus the king, who had been a hostage and the son of Antiochus the king, who had been a hostage at Rome, because remember Rome is also battling the Grecians, and he reigned 137 years of the kingdom of the Greeks. He reigned in the 130th and 70th year of the kingdom of the Greeks. Okay. In those days, there were out of Isolile. Now listen to this. There were in those days wicked men. Okay, so now let's get clear. If they're wicked, that means they're with who? Baal. They're with Cain. They're with the impostor. They're with Amon-Ra. They're with the wicked seeds. The mark of Cain, okay, is what they're going with. Who persuaded many. So they're talking to the Bana Betu, okay, of Isolile, who came back from Ingipiti. Once again, we're being made under the spell of the harlot. This is probably Lilith have been involved in this. Okay, same stuff with the heathen, and departed from it. Said, let us go and make a covenant with the heathen that are round about us. So this is where, when we look at the Phoenician Empire, okay, we're going to go and look at this. Disappear to. Have too many things open. That's the problem. See, now remember, this is that temple that Solomon built that he wasn't supposed to because of the same thing. Let me close this one a little bit. This will help us bring back up some stuff here. Okay. So we have the Phoenician Empire. Now I'm going to pull up this map and I'm going to show you how you know that there's a lot of deception going on. Because you're going to see, this is Ezekiel 34, where it talks about Tyre and Sidon. Now you're going to see that they put the Israel over here, but you know that it was really down in the Congo as well. Okay. So when Tatanzambi is talking about the Phoenician Empire, they occupied, let's see, where did they go? All right, so here we go. So when you're going to hear them say that they say they're anti-Semite, you're basically saying they're anti-Phoenician. So where we go? Phoenicia, or Phoenicia, was an ancient Semitic Thalassocratic civilization originating in the Levant region of the eastern Mediterranean, primarily located in modern Lebanon. The territory of the Phoenicians extended and shrank throughout history, with the core of the culture stretching from Arwad in the modern Syria to Mount Carmel. Now, I'm going to tell you this Mount Carmel, this is why when I was talking to a guy from South Africa, and they actually have these ruins that they made off limits down in the sub-Sahara, that the original Mount Carmel is down because Canaan is down there in Africa. That's where a lot of this original stuff was. That's why they made a lot of these ruins off limits for people to know that they came into Africa, but they act like they didn't. Right. Beyond their homeland, the Phoenicians extended throughout the Mediterranean from Cyprus to the Iberian Peninsula. These Phoenicians were a Semitic-speaking people who emerged in Levant around 3000 BC. The name Phoenicia is an ancient Greek exonym that did not correspond precisely to a cohesive culture or society as it would have been understood natively. It is debated whether the Phoenicians were actually distinct from the broader group of Semitic-speaking peoples known as the Canaanites. Hello, which they really are connected. See, the Amorites, the Moabites, Isolele, and the Phoenicians undoubtedly achieved their own cultural identities. Okay, and yet ethnically they were all Canaanites. Well, we were supposed to be separated from the Canaanites, but you see how they're showing you. Okay, so that's why the Canaanite belief is incorporated into the Phoenician historical records and the Hittites and those type of things. Okay, so when they came to Isolele, the Bana Betu of Isolele, this took place because of this covenant. Okay. And in those days, okay, so in this covenant, Okay, with with the heavens and around us, for since we departed from them, we have much sorrow. So, like I said, this was like a slap in the face to Tatanzambi. Because why do they have sorrow? Because they're working with Baal, not the Most High. So then what happened is, as we know the story as you read on, Antiochus comes there, a Grecian, wicked man, worshiping who? Hercules, whatever you want to call him, Zeus, puts that in our temple, then Zon Zombie, and slaughters the pig. Why? Because that's the pig god. Going back to what happened with Tammuz and what happened with him, Isus, okay, which is the son of Isis, okay. Now, what people don't get is our social civilization should have never been involved with any of this. We never learned. That's why Isaiah says we never learned to stop doing the ways of the heathen. Okay? So now, in our spiritual battle and spiritual warfare, this is the problem we're dealing with. This spirit don't want people to know this. Okay? So the sorcery that continues to go around the world to block the knowledge of this is connected to this power. Okay? And this is what we have to keep fighting, because this is connected to Jezebel, this is connected to Lilith, this is connected to Nimrod, all these Baal, Esau, this is all connected to that. Okay? They're in one accord with the Watchers, with the Nephilim, the Anunnaki, the Nephilim, the demons, the children of Cain, they're all in one accord with this. Okay? So this is our problem, is we are trying to break free of this chain. But we think that we have broken the chains in the name of Jesus, in the name of Allah, in the name of whatever you want to call. And it's like, no, you're putting them back on. Because we didn't need the salvation of the heathen, of the Gentiles. We taught them, and they killed us and took it from us and said it's theirs. This is their history. Okay? Because our ancestors didn't understand. We are supposed to be the spiritual temple of Davidi that Massa was speaking about when he came down from Mount Kenya. Okay? He didn't go from Sinai. It was Mount Kenya. Okay? When he come down and said we're supposed to be the chosen seed of the Most High and do the Spirit, and he saw us, doing all the debauchery, and we said, oh, Baal brought us out of Ingipiti. Okay? And Tatansami got angry. Okay? That's our problem. The Wizado is that we are supposed to be righteous and holy before Tatanzambi, rebuking the spirit of the wicked one. This is why when we do our purifications, like I just did one before I started. Why? Because that's the whole concept. We're now in a Christmas season of Baal's son's birthday. But the world don't want to believe it. It's like, okay, that's fine. They don't understand. And I showed this, the Parliament of Britain in 1647 outlawed Easter and Christmas under King Charles I. Now, why do you think they did that? And then who brought it back? Like I said, the Masonic order started in 1717. It was their belief, along with the Jesuits, who were the Khazars who became Catholics, and also the fact that they had infiltrated so many things even during the time of Constantine, who was not talking to the Most High. He was with Cain. Constantine had the mark of Cain along with his mother, teaching the Most High's way when he was working for the impostor. That's why they took the image of Zeus and said, this is God. It's like, no, this is not him. They took the image of Jupiter and said, this is the Most High. And it's like, no. And this created a problem for us. And those who wouldn't accept this, they wanted to kill us. Now, of course, you had the Phoenicians, the Khazars. They were in this image, so they didn't have a problem with it. This is why Maccabee said, and I lay open the law wherein the heathen look to change the image to themselves. Okay? So who are the heathen? Those who wear the mark of Cain and are in the resemblance of the mark of Cain. That's why Tatanzambi says people who are under Cain cannot teach the way. The people who are supposed to be like him are the ones that teach the way. That's why Yesaway was never under the mark of Cain. So he's not gonna look like leper Cain. That image is Cain that we have been tricked by, and the rest of the world doesn't get. Because everybody was dark. All Anoka's children were black. They became white because they got the mark of Cain. And that was done through the alterations that were made with the Anunnaki and the Nephilim and the Watchers and all these different things, because the Watchers were affiliated with the mark of Cain. Okay? So now, when we talk about Revelation, the three frogs, which we know the frog god, we go to Revelation 16. We're going to switch it over from the KJV because that is a Masonic modification. Then we go to pull up the wicked god, Moloch. And Tatan Zambi called the frogs to go mess around with Egypt as a curse. Okay? This is the God, he's the one that commanded the frogs to bring the curse. So this is a horny frog or horny toad, Moloch with wings, because he's a fallen angel. So then when we go to the book of Revelation, I saw three unclean spirits that looked like frogs. They came from the mouth of the dragon, from the mouth of the beast, and from the mouth of the false prophet. Okay? Who is, so you have the frog god. The frog god is Moloch, came from the mouth of the dragon, Beliar, and from the mouth of the beast. Who is the beast? Baal, Cain, the holy cow. Okay? And the mouth of the false prophet. Who is that? The sorcerer. Okay? This is the sorcerer. This is what he sees. That the sorcerer, I see that the false, this is the false prophet, the sorcerer. Okay? This person brought about these reliefs. What are the three frogs? The religions that are based off of Bantu scrolls. The Bana Betu scrolls, the Tula, the Nkanda became Christianity, Islam, and Judaism. After Rome destroyed the Mbanza Salama. Okay? In all the different locations where we were running. That's why the Western Wall is a Roman legionnaires' barracks that they're bound down to. Okay? So now, because Tatanzami destroyed the complete temple, it's gone. It was over. Even in you go to the teachings of Josephus, he says the whole thing collapsed, and the Romans even said, "Well, we didn't do it by ourselves." So Tatanzambi, that's why Tata Kongo said, everything will be thrown down. Okay, run for the hills, get up out of here. Okay, that's why we kept running everywhere, and they threw it down. They threw it down in the Congo and the other Namibia, and then they went and they threw it down up. They threw the replicas down up in the one that we created up in Palestine. They destroyed all of that. That's why when Helen, son of a mother of what's his name, Constantine, they buried the history that Rome was in Africa, just like the Greeks, and they destroyed the Alexander. They destroyed the Alexander library that proved that Greece had gone into Africa. Okay. All right. And of course, that Egypt was scattered across the whole earth. That's why I said we're in Western Egypt and they have Eastern Egypt, but especially when it was one continent, when Kemi was ruling over there with Puti and Kushi, it was all one continent. You know, a lot of these people, you know, I got into an argument with this lady about Americans. I'm like, oh my gosh. It was one continent. The Most High broke it apart, Embo. He did that because the tribes were mixing and they weren't supposed to be. From the Ark of the Covenant, the Ark of that covenant with Noka. All right. So now, when we go back to the B, and he's going to talk about the children of Japheth. Wait. Where did he put? This is the B, right? And I remember reading this before. We'll go to the generations of Noka. All right, so the children of Japheth, see Japheth, the people of Japheth are 15 families. Gomer, from whom sprang Gothai, or the Goths. So there's the Visigoths. You see the Goths. Magog, from whom sprang the Galatians. The Madi, from whom sprang the Medes. Okay, we just talked about the Medes, right? Kittim. Okay, Javan, from whom sprang Yaunai Greeks. Tubal or Tubal, from whom sprang the Bithynians. Meshech, from sprang Musai, the Mysians. Tiras, from whom sprang Thanikeia or Trekeia or the Thracians. Okay, so you're familiar with those in the history books. Sorry, my back. The Ansklai or the Asklai or the Asklai, the children of Gomer. Ashkenaz, from whom sprang the Armenians. Danfar, from whom sprang the Cappadocians. Togarma, from whom sprang the Asians. See? So Togarma is where the Asian people came from. The Asians and the Assyrians. The sons of Javan, Elisha, that is the Hellas, Tarshish, Cilicia, Cyprus, Kittim, okay, Duranim, the Macedonians, and from these were divided among the lands of the nations. These are the families of the children of Noka. From them were the nations divided on the earth. After the flood, there were 72 families. According to the families, so are the languages. Okay? This is how it was. Okay, so now we're going to go what it was in Semel, the children of Semel. The people, so you have the children of Sem are 27 families. There's your 9. Elami, from whom sprang the Elamites or Asa. See, they're doing this wrong because the Assyrians are actually down here. They're actually affiliated with the Cushites because that's Babylon. Alpaxa, from whom sprang the Persians, and Lod, And Alam, from whom sprang the Almeans, the Damascenes, the Hellenes, from the father of all the children of Eber, were Arpaxha. Salah begot Eber, who Eber was born 2 sons, the name of whom was Peleg, because in those days the earth was divided. That's when he broke apart the continents after the tower. From it is known that the Syriac language named with Eber, because when in the Syriac language, now see, this is the Bantu Bakongo, this is the Benansulide. They're going to always hide this because this is what they know. Because Bana Betu languages, we speak Hebrew. Okay? The language was confounded in the earth and divided, and it was born. Okay? Confounded means what? They could no longer understand each other because you need the Mwanda. But that's why when you have the Mwanda, the Holy Spirit allows you to speak in all the different languages. Okay? If you can't have the Mwanda, you can't understand people. Okay? That's what it means when we say speaking in tongues. Yoktan was born. Remember now, Yoktan, he was one of the people that was made the prince of Kosana, okay, of the children of Nsemu. And his job was to make sure that all of the children of Noka stayed in their places where the Most High assigned them. He's the one that battled with Nimrod and got tore up. Okay? Nimrod got beat by him, but we still didn't listen. Okay? They dwelt beside one another and kept the Syriac, the Syriac. Now, this is why they say Aramaic, the Syriac. No, we kept the Syriac language was Bantu. And the dwelling was Manasseh from Mount Sinai, from the side of the land of Canaan, towards the beginning of Alam and Damascus. Now, this would have been all down in Kembo, in Africa, because Canaan was down there. We're going to get to that. So the real Damascus is in the Somalia region. That's why you think that when you go to the movie Black Hawk Down and all that stuff, that was the war. And the border of solid east, the Persia to the south, and the Great Sea. Now the Bantu, Bakongo, Bayuda, has Masi instead of Manasseh. In the verse, the children of Yoktan dwelt from Masian to Sebarfen. And this is all down in the Congo, down in sub-Sahara. Because watch this. The children of Kami, the people of Kama, are 36 families. There goes your 36. And they do the 63 backwards. And this is all the coding of the secret societies. Okay? 36, your 12, 3 and 6 is 9. Okay, this is your 9/11. Besides the Philistines, now what are they? The Philistines are Hamitic people, so they would have been dark. So when Davidi went to kill Goliath, he was a Philistine. He would have been dark. So you had these black giants. Cappadocians, Cushi. Cushi means black. From whom sprang the Cushites. Mitzrayim, which is really Kemet, from whom sprang Mitzrayim or Ingipiti. Puti, from whom sprang Patoye. Canaan, from whom sprang the Canaanites, the 7 kings whom Joshua, the son of Nun, destroyed. Okay? The children of Oba. Yosua is where you get Yusua. Okay? His name was never, matter of fact, there was no J, it would have been pronounced Yosua, because the I was the Latin. The destroyer of Obar, Seba, Havilah, from whom sprang the Indians, the Amorites, the Samraye, the Matrei, who would dwell in the south, and Cushi was born Nimrod, who was the first king after the flood. The beginning of the kingdom was Babylon, who was built in which he reigned, and after the division of the tongues, he built the following cities. Arik, this is where the name Eric comes from, which is Edessa. This is where you get the name Odessa from. Akkad, this is where you say Sama Israel Echad is a Canaanite word. We didn't say this. These are all people don't even know. It's the Yiddish and the this stuff all comes from the Canaanite Hamitic translations mixed with Yapeta. Okay, which the next biz in Kalne, which is Chesphone. The land of Babel is called the land of Sinar. Take the H out. So when you're a sinner, it's because you worship the god of Sinar, which was the god of sin, which is Mesopotamia too. Because in it were the languages confounded. Now, of course, you had the 72 language that became confounded, meaning that we could not understand each other. That's what it really means. From Sinar in the Bantu language is interpreted division. So when you become a Sinar, you are divided away from the Most High. Okay, it means division. Now, here's where the world has been deceived. The 12 tribes are the only ones that must be unified, as Ezekiel 37 says, in order to restore the peace. Hosea 2. So then now you have all these Christians running around saying, we have become Israel. Okay, then where's the peace? You cannot have war if you are a unified belief. According to how do you fit in Hosea chapter 2? When he says, I shall bring my people together, the people will have, they will beat their plows in the plowshares. They will no longer seek war anymore. Is that what's going on in the world today? I don't think so. Christians are not bringing peace. Where is it? They even talking about, oh, Jesus is coming. He's the Prince of Peace. So then where's your peace? Why aren't you, where's the peace? Where's Solomon? You should be bringing peace then. Where is it? Okay. So now we go to, from that land, the Assyrian went forth and built Nineveh and the town of Rehoboth, which was the town of Arbil. It is said that Belus, the son of Nimrod, was the first to depart from Babel to come to Assyria. And after Belus, his son Ninus built Nineveh and called it after his name, Arabel, and Kala, which is Hetra, and Resen, which is Resa, Anim. So you know, so Tammuz would have come after he died. Remember, when he was dead, what happened was his phallic was removed. They needed Hermes to come extract the seed from Nimrod and plant it into Semiramis so that she could be born unto Tammuz and say, this is Tammuz, this is Nimrod reborn. And then when Tatanzambi killed one with a pig, she said, I'm going to go get him and resurrect him. And this is when she did the festival of Ishtar with the bunny. So you don't get it. That magic bunny has people deceived. Okay? Whom sprang the Lydia, from whom sprang Lubia, Labim, from whom sprang Tebtaye, Yaphruhim, Patrusim, and Kasluhim, from whom went forth the Philistines. The Gadriye, the Gadarene, the people of Sodom. Canaan begot Sidon, his firstborn. So when the Tatanzami says, he said to Ezekiel 37, go and prophesy against Tyre and Sidon. Whose children are they? The Canaanites. From whence sprang Tyrians, the Sidonians, 10 nations who dwelt in the side of Isolde, from the sea to the Euphrates. Now, this is going to be their modification, because when this took place, it was one continent. It's a lie. Okay, then it got broken apart. They had to reshuffle. When the Most High sent them back to where they belong, then they began to put their kingdoms back. The Euphrates is really the Nile. They renamed it. The Kisaye, the Kanriaye, the Akebenoye, who were between the children of Esau and Amon-Ra of Era, the children of Lot, are the children of Kama. Do you see now, when we go talk about the Phoenicians, and you pull up the map, you see Sidon, you see Byblos. This is where the word Bible comes from. You see Tripoli. But what's really weird is you have a Tripoli in Africa. You have Tyre. This is why your car has a tire. Here's acre of land. When you get an acre of land, Akor, door. Close the door, people. What is that? That's one of the lands of where? Here's Kadesh. Okay? So now, they existed. Go look at the time frame from, let's see, it was 3000 BC all the way up to 64. See? Established 2500 BC, 64 BC. Pompeii, they conquered Pompeii. This is when Herod and them came into the being. This is when they come and say, oh, we are Magdana, we are the tribe of Dan. We are the missing tribe. Okay? Into the Bana Betu of Isolde. Okay? So now, when you talk about Hanukkah, which means light, which is what the name of Enoch, they call him Enoch, was, that's why we called it like Hanukkah, because Hanukkah was the light bearer, Hanukkah, who taught the war-size way. And Semu was the continuation of that down to Maliki Sadeki, to Abanan Saka Yakubi, to the Malawi of Masa and Aaron. Alon is how you say Aaron. Okay? These are the teachers. These are the Gangan Zambi. Okay? But then they said we were always better off with the what? So when we go into captivity each time, the problem is we always go back to Cain, the mark of Cain. Okay? So when you go to Maccabi, Yaounde Maccabi, he was a stone. So that's why in Fumu Yisu, when he talked about the stone, the Tadi, okay, the Makaba stone, this is when they're trying to copy Yaounde Maccabi when he fought against and he kicked out the Grecians with Rome at the time, Roma. They came and defeated Antiochus and the Grecians and restored the temple, the Nzon Zambi. So then you see Tata Kongo, when he shows up, okay, Fumiyisu, he sees the temple has been messed up. How? robbers and the thieves come in here. Well, who is the robber and the thief? Esau, Cain. So he says, you have now perverted the temple, just like what happened with Antiochus Epiphanes, and all of you people who are hypocrites. When you are a hypocrite, you are talking to Cain. He's a hypocrite. His God, his spirit, okay? So now, what the world doesn't understand is you are learning the scriptures from the hypocrites. That's the reason why when we go back to Matthew, when he was in Matthew 12, let's read it again. Matthew 12. During this time, Mfumu Yesu, not Jesus, this is Cain, pretending to be the Messiah, was traveling on the Sambwadi. Sabbath comes from the Canaanites, to the Hamitic tribes, through a cornfield. Now, why is that cornfield significant? Remember, it was a cornfield that got destroyed by the crows when Nimrod lost his eye. Okay, think about this connection, why he did this. He was going to show the people, because the Pharisees were under the spirit of Cain, which was the spirit of Nimrod, which was the spirit of Esau. He knew this. This was all part of this, okay? But when the Pharisees saw this, they said, look, your abafundi, and let's look at the word for disciple. Or longoki. This is what longoki, used to say, yusumalongi, longoki, teachers, or abafundi. Longoki do not do what is not lawful to do under Sambwadi. So he's saying these are the hypocrites out here. Then he replied, have you not read what David did when he and his followers were hungry? When they entered the house of God, which is the Inzon Zambi church, temple. Remember, sin, O God, comes from God. They changed the name of it. Okay? And he and his followers ate the consecrated bread that was not lawful for them to eat. And who was reserved for the priests? Or have you not read in the scriptures on the Sambwadi, the priests of the temple may abandon the Sambwadi, yet remain blameless? But I say to you that here is the place in the mighty one who is greater than the temple. Why? Because Tata Kongo existed before the earth was in the foundation. You find Yusu, Yalankuvu. Okay? But you say that here is the place, the mighty one, who is greater than the temple. But if you had known what this means, I desire mercy and not sacrifice, you would have not condemned the blameless. Why? See? And that's why Mfumu Yusu, and see, this is where our people even today, they say, oh, Christianity caused this. And no, they inherited it, but they're doing it wrong. They didn't cause anything. We taught them to be hypocrites when they disobeyed the Most High's way. When we follow in the sorcerer who was a Muntu, the deceiver, Clarence. Like I said, I can't say too bad. I have an uncle Clarence, so I love him dearly. I haven't talked to him in a while. I hope he's okay. I desire mercy and not sacrifice. You could not have condemned the blameless, because the servant of humanity is the master of the Sambwadi. That's why I told you he would have never changed anything, because he is how you get into the day of rest. And he would have gone by the Most High's times, days, laws, statutes, and commandments. That's why when Toko, when he came, and among people were walking with him, his agenda was to get us back to this. But he was getting interference from the hypocrites who kept throwing him in prison. He said, no, I got to teach this. No, you can't teach that. They were running interference because, see, the missionaries who brought Christianity were teaching the laws according to the hypocrites. That's why they had to cover this up. See, when you go to church on Sunday, you are a hypocrite. Why? Because the Bible was written by the hypocrites, saying that the Most High wrote it, but the hypocrites wrote it. The Church of Laodicea were hypocrites. And so were the other churches. So the hypocrite wrote it, that's Cain. Then he left the place and went into their synagogue, because they had a place of themselves, see? And there was a man who had diseased hands. They tried to bring charges against him and say, is it lawful to heal under somebody? See, this is why Tata Kongo says when you try to follow the law carnally with an uncircumcised heart, you're always going to be like Cain. And Fumu Yusuf answered them, who among you shall have one sheep, and it falls in a pit under somebody that will not grab hold and pull it out? How much greater then is a man than a sheep? Therefore, it is lawful to go to do good unto somebody. Why? Because you're what? You're giving honor to Tata Kongo, to the Most High. You're honoring Tata Kongo. Then he said to the man, stretch out your hand, and he stretched it out, and it was healed. This is how you know that the churches are hypocrites. Who you see doing this? This is what the Mwanda does, looking like the other hand. Then the Pharisee left and held a meeting to plot how they might destroy him. And remember, Rome was also involved in this. They're not telling you the full truth. But when Isaiah discovered this, he withdrew from there and through the crowds and followed them and healed them all. So he disappeared. He got hidden and instructed them they should not reveal who he was. This executed the word spoken through Isaiah. Behold, my servant who I have chosen, my beloved, Zola, beloved, Zolele, for whom I am well pleased. I will put my spirit, Mwanda, upon him, and he shall show justice to the pagans. Okay? So it isn't that the pagans or the Gentiles cannot receive salvation. The problem is they think they run the salvation. No, you cannot. This is the way people have been tricked. The Gentiles are running the church when it's supposed to be the 12 tribes. That's why that's why Toko, when he took that spot, he's like, no, I am now the placeholder. But now you have the sorcerer still doing magic with that too. It's like I said, you're supposed to be like my Amon-Ra, not keep worshiping my Amon-Ra all the time. Kongo bows down to King Kongo, but the world bows down to you. Oh no, we're supposed to bow down to no man. Oh, but you're bowing down to the Pope and everybody else. Get up out of here. The Cain is lying to you. He's deceiving you because he wants you to bow down to Cain and his gods. But when the Pharisees said he only cast out So then he says, then someone who brought him was possessed by a demon and was blind and mute, and he healed him, allowing the blind and mute man to speak and see. And all the people were amazed, saying, is not this the follower of Davidi? Or Manan Davidi? Okay. But when the Pharisee heard this, they said, he only cast out demons by this demon, the prince of demons. And Fumu Yisu, who so called Yesue, knowing their thoughts, the Yavi Wiza Watu Sadisa, okay, that's the servant of the covenant, okay, any authority divided against itself is brought to destruction, and every village or house divided against itself will not stand. If the wicked cast out the wicked, he is divided against himself. How then will we maintain authority? This is why the devil's kingdom now still stands. And you got all these people all come up with casting out demons. Then why does his kingdom still stand? Because you're not doing it. He's tricking you. The wizard is giving you deception. You're casting out Cain. And you are Cain. You can't do that. You cannot go and work for Cain and cast out Cain. It doesn't work that way. This is the deception. But if I cast out by the spirit of Tatanzambi, the sanctuary of Fumu is being provided to you. So then how do you get rid of devils? You must be in Zoanzambi in spirit. You must be from Tatanzambi in spirit. And you must be not marked with Cain. That's the chosen. That's the wheat, the blade. Okay, that's the blade and not the matiti ya. What did I say, Terry? Matiti ya mbi. Mbi means wicked. Remember, Kaina was a wheat farmer. This is where you're going to find out where the sheep concept, the sheep comes from. Okay, the sheep concept comes from Abele. Mame. Okay, people think they don't know that they think it came from the modern. I'm like, no, it means sheep, all the way back to Abele. Okay, what it is, Abele was a sheep herder. Caina killed him. Caina's wheat became tares, thorns, and thistles. So he had to go to the sorcery to get food. That's how the devil, the dragon, taught them how to make the food that comes with it because they couldn't eat. Okay? The replacement for Abele as the sheep herder was in Seth. So now, this is where in Fumu Yisu, he is the replacement for Nsetu and Abele. That's why he is the sheep herder. But Kaina, he is with the goat god. So he is going to be the Kombo means goat, and Kombo means goat. It can also be in the name of, and Komonyoso, Fumuyusu Kombo Yatadami, okay, in the name of, okay, Kombo, if you put the word goat, this is why the fast food and the Biblia combo, and Kombo means goat. So this is what the goat god is, Nkombo. Azazel, Baphomet, whatever you want to call him. Okay? So now, that's the shepherd. The wicked shepherd goes with the goat god. This is when he talks about separating the sheep from the goat. So what does that mean? You're separating Katanzambi animals from Cain. The mark of Cain will go with the goat god. The seal of the Most High go with the sheep. The Bana Betu mistake that we made was, okay, the Bana Betu mistake that we made was we mixing the sheep with the goats. I did a video like this years ago. And now you acting like the goats, thinking that you have become the sheep. It's a lie. And the goats are out here thinking that they have become the sheep with the goat god. They think that they're with Msindisi when they're with the god of sin. This is the deception. This is what we made the mistake of. We didn't need Massa's belief when we got thrown into captivity. We already knew the truth. They forced it upon us, and now you think you're going to heaven. You got Jesus as my Lord and Savior, and you're talking to Cain in the image of leopard, in the image of Cain. Because the people who are marked with Cain are teaching the scriptures to the people who are not marked with Cain. You cannot do that. And this is why now, when he talks about the blind leading the blind into the ditch, if your shepherd is working for Cain, you're not going to the Most High. These are the agents of Cain. This is what all secret societies do. They work for Caina. They work for the impostor. They work for Esau. They work for Sol Invictus. They work for Amon-Ra. They don't work for Tata Kongo. But they're going to make you think that they do. They don't work for King Kongo. They work for God, which is the dog God. So through him is how they took our scriptures and changed it to where now you think Esau is Jacob and Jacob is Esau. Because that's what Esau represents, the heathen. Jacob represents the sheep. Esau represents the goats. Jacobi represents the sheep. Now you thought you were a goat who needed to become a sheep when you were already a sheep. This is how we got played. The raw, Amon-Ra end of the deal. We got shafted. This is why we went through all the buck breaking and everything that they did to us, and how our children were treating each other, and they turned us against one another, and had us singing to the gods that they gave us. Not in just Christianity, Islam, Judaism, Buddhism, Hinduism, everything, doing whatever they did in wherever land we went to, when we didn't need any of that. All of these religions are talking to Cain, to Baal. He has deceived the whole world. The children of the ark have mixed themselves. This is why people don't get it. These wars were breaking out because they saw that the heathen that were going out spreading the word of God were breaking the barriers of where they were supposed to be. You're out of your territory. What are you doing? Oh, we're supposed to spread the word of God and Jesus and the Lord. No, we know who these people are. They had blocked them even of the knowledge that this is the reason why the whole purpose of the disciples of the what do you call it? Of the disciples, the reason why they had to go gather the people from where they brought them to bring the Holy Spirit is that they had to send the Balangoki back to where they came from to teach it, so that the world would know. This is where they ran their interference. They spread the scriptures throughout the world was a representative from each tribe would come, okay? They would, the Most High, they set up the disciples, okay, as a representative for each one of the 72 tribes. That's what the Bana Betu were for. Each disciple, the Balangoki, was set up as a representative of each one of the 72 tribes to go out to those areas and teach Tatanzambi's way to them. That's how it was supposed to go down. That's not the way it happened. The 72 disciples of the Abafundi were supposed to go to each representative of the descendants of Anoka and teach the gospel to them. So now the Christians think, oh, well, we accomplished that. No, you did not. If you did, you wouldn't have had to force it on them. Because he even says, that's why he said, who is worthy among here? No, we're only going to teach it to those who are worthy. You don't teach it to everybody. Oh, no, everybody got to know the truth. No, only those who are worthy. That's what he said. If they're not worthy, move on. Because the people, why does it say that? Because that's why he said, don't teach what's righteous and holy unto the dogs and pigs. Why? They're not going to receive this. They're going to keep worshiping Cain. And so now, that's why we're living in the world of chaos and people don't even know that they have been played. They're worshiping the birth of Cain's son today. They're celebrating Cain's holidays, feast days, thinking that they're the real ones and they're the imposter. Okay. So now, as Tatanzambi has tried to teach all of us, you cannot work for Cain and be blessed by him. No. But Cain will act like he's blessing people because he wants you to stay worshiping him and his gods. Tricking people. Making it look good. Keeping up with appearances. Giving you all kind of distractions. And of course, the big payoffs. You're going to get rich. I'm going to bless you. When you're really cursing yourself in the name of Jesus, in the name of Allah, whatever you're doing. Because the Tatanzambi is not doing it. The money is coming from the imposter, but you have to use it against him, and that's what they don't want. The wealth has to return back to Yakubi. But you, like I said, you're going through Kaina to pay Yakubi. It doesn't supposed to be like that. You're supposed to go through Yakubi to pay Kaina. That's how it's supposed to be. The people who are sealed with the Tatanzambi, the Bakongo, the Kingu, the Bantwe, it's supposed to come through the Abantwe to give to the world. Then we share it the way the Most High does it, the right way. It's always good, never bad. That's how the world is being tricked by the con man. Because Cain is the con artist. He's a con man. He is going to do things his way. Which is not say, wait. Tatanzambi's way is always fair. Cain is never fair. Tatanzambi is always good. Cain is never good. But he's going to make you think that he is. Those are the two sides. The mammon is Cain. And this is what we're dealing with in this messed up world, because it's upside down, but you don't see it. You're supposed to look like you serve the God of Abana, Sakayo, Kubi, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, but you're really not, because you're really working for Cain and his mark, and you're under the mark of Cain already, and you need to separate from the harlot. That's what he means, come out of her, my people. The harlot is affiliated with the mark of Cain, his fairy godmother, because she's a witch. She got sorcery, she got power, the gingerbread woman. That's why you do the gingerbread house, because you remember how the witch eating the children, okay? What do you think the Nephilim were doing? They were the giants were eating the people. Oh, Tata Zombie, they're eating us. You think they stopped? No. They took it underground. So you don't call out to the Most High, hey, they doing this, they doing that. You are in the days. That's why they had to make all of these lies up. Oh, they disappeared. There's no more Nephilim. There's no more giants. There's none of this stuff. Yeah, right. Okay? The Tanzami was like the seed of Cain. The seed of Cain, the offspring of the giants, the watchers. They're supposed to be what? Destroying themselves. He cursed them and the watchers and said the offspring of these people must go. They are not supposed to be doing what they do, which is what Saul was supposed to be doing. That's why the Most High got mad. Hey, you didn't finish the job. So then they make it look like the Most High is like, no, I'm destroying demons, demonic entities. The demonic people are being destroyed. Not the bloodlines of the people who should be doing the worship, the demons. Okay. So now the Most High going to finish off what he told Nimrod, what he told everybody, what he did, what he was supposed to do, is get rid of the hybrids. It's over for them. Completely over. They're not going to be able to run and hide anymore. They don't get a share of the wealth. They're not even supposed to be doing anything. And they feel like, oh, we're getting the wrong. No, this is your parents should never have made you. This is their fault. The watchers weren't supposed to go and make these children. They broke the Most High's law. Excuse me, sorry for the noise. They broke Tata Nzambi's law. And now they're supposed to think, oh, we're supposed to get a good deal. No. I told you through Hanukkah, the offspring of the watchers must go. Goodbye. So that they don't pervert my way with the children of Noka. So the children of Noka, you have been perverted because of the Nephilim, because of the watchers, because of the Anunnaki liars who were banished. Okay? And you still letting them trick you that they are the saviors and their history is the right way and their teachings are the right way when you are going the wrong way. You're not a Bant way, you're Cain's way. You either can do it a Bant way, Tatanzambi, or Cain's way. You cannot do both. Even myself. Okay? And this is where the Jezebel spirit becomes a problem because she is on the side of Cain. This is what he's talking about. You tolerate that woman Jezebel. You do. The churches tolerate the Jezebel spirit, and now the lampstands were taken away. But they're lying about it. You tolerate it. The time was up. It's like, hey, we can't do this anymore. The watchers will keep doing it. You guys keep lying to people. You are not the chosen. You don't have the Holy Spirit. You have Sophia. The imposter. You worshiping these Greek and Roman gods, thinking that it's the real God. You think you're Maliki Kongo when you're Maliki Alma. the deaf and the blind. Alma, check your battery. The Mockery and Sister Act. You can't hear. You have no understanding. That's why you have the rule of Telema, that they call Thelma and Louise. Okay? That's the Watchers and the Thelma and Louise. That's the Lucifer and Kaina. Do whatever you want to do. Go party, be wild, yeah, have a good time. Cut loose, all we're stressed out. Yeah, because they made you into a donkey for Cain. And then they pay you your wages based upon, oh yeah, that Tanzami said, I pay everybody the same. Everybody gets paid the same. And I got plenty for doing my work. You're not going to be broke. And he said, it doesn't matter if you came working for me for a long time or a short time. You're still going to get paid. That's why I made the comment. So then if he decides, okay, I'm going to pay everybody $1 billion for their work, then everybody's a billionaire. I'm going to pay everybody a million things of gold. He's big dad. He got all kind of wealth, making gold and silver always, never poor. And you sitting here listening to people that's deciding, oh, you're going to get $1 million, you're going to get $1,000. Oh, I don't need that much. Oh, I'm fine with where I'm at. But you don't get it. We gave away. This is how, like I told you. You built a house. You own it. It's free and clear. No taxes. Nothing. You took it and you sold it to a con man. And now he's charging you taxes, rent, interest, making loans against what you own. This is what you have. This is how they played us. You're paying taxes, rent, paper money against something you already own as a nation. The nation of the Kingdom of Congo de Ntotela, the Bana Betu, we were given the inheritance of Abana and Saka and Yakubi, and now we're paying for what we own. This is the con man Cain, in the name of Jesus, in the name of Allah, in the name of Krishna, whatever you call it upon. This is the foolishness. And now Tatanzambi is going to put it to an end. Because he said, I created the world for the descendants of Abana Saka Yakubi. To be the stewards of, to take care of, and to be the judges of in righteousness. But you chose to do what? Hook up with Cain. And he is no judge. He's the bottom. He's Nancy. So you went to be Nancy instead of being Muntu. You went to be the bottom, and then you put Kaina on top. Of course he's going to treat you bad. He don't like you. He don't like nothing to do with Bana Betu, Visodale, Negroes, nothing. He hates the image of the Most High. Okay? So, of course, that's how it works. All right, let me play the song and I'm done. Kembo, hallelujah. Again, I don't own the rights to the song. It's not for redistribution of any kind, but only for the edification of this channel. This is what the Maya Mona is supposed to be doing, bringing you out of Ingipiti, the whole 12 tribes. You turn that light on, okay? But when the Maya Mona is leading you out of Ingipiti, he's not taking you back to the sorcerer. No way. This is what people don't understand. The Mfumo Yisu Kuso Kongo is not going to take you back to the sorcerer. It's going to take you away from the sorcerer. Because you got people out here pretending again to be Maya Mona, Messiah, when he said, be careful who you trust to be Messiah. I am not in everybody. They're lying to you. He's only in the people on the list. That's it. And those are the people they want to get rid of. Like I said, you got people out here, they're taking you to the pit. They're working with secret societies, they're in secret societies, they're acting like they're not with the secret societies, they're not realizing they're being deceived by the secret societies, and they're taking you away from the truth. Okay? That's why even Toko said, and Kembo said, our words have been modified. Catch the thief. Who's the thief? Kaina. Ptah is always going to spin it his way because that's Cain. You're coming out of Ingipiti, people, and it's going to be the real and symbol Wayuda running the show, and Tatanzambi and Pungu. Okay, it's going to be no more sorcerers tricking people. I'm telling you, be careful. The sorcerer has all the knowledge, but he's going to teach you to go his way, not the Most High's way. And then he's going to teach those certain people milk. And even he start teaching you the meat, it's going to be tainted. So you got to be careful with that joker. Because he's a joker. He's playing games with your life. He can be anybody. He can shapeshift into anyone. Because he's a magician. Okay. Mfumo Yusu and Dombe. Hamasiya. Mikaele Ndombe. Mfumo Yisu Mikaele Ndombe. Mikaele Ndombe. Mfumo Yisu Mikaele Ndombe. Fumu Yesu Kristu, Mikael Ndombe, Makaya Nzambe, above all the angels. Israeli, Yahweh, Mfumu, the Wizardo, Sambula. George Jefferson called his wife Wheezy because she was his bride. The Wheezy is the bride of Tatanzambi. The Weezer. The Bana Betu Solele Bakongo Bayuda, we're supposed to be the Weezer, the Negroes, the Unga, that they call niggers now, with the extra G. The dogs, we became the dogs, and they want us, and the people want to keep getting thrown the bones instead of getting the meat. Bakuta usi ukwenda usi ya kese. Bakuta usi inayovipitu ukwenda usi ya kese. Ukwenda usi ya Okay, Kembo, hallelujah. There are those who are listening to Simon Toko and Kimbangu that are trying to do the right way. And then there are those who are not. There are those who are listening in churches, in the Christian churches, that are trying to do the right way. And then there are those who are not. This is the problem. You have to be careful what you are learning. We never were. The leaders of the churches work for Cain. Period. Because he is the one controlling the churches. That's why you have to separate yourself. Mayamona and Fumuyusu, Simon Toko, he's not working for Cain. So if you're following people that are tricking you into thinking that he is, when he's not, or thinking it's the same way and it's not, you are being deceived by the sorcerer. And Fumo Yusu said, go and do what I did and more. You don't really need me if you're doing my work. Now go do your work. But there are those who are causing problems for those trying to do their work because they know they work for Cain. And they're lying about it. And soon and very soon, all of the delusions are going to be exposed and people are going to wish. I shouldn't say wish. They're going to be wanting to get back to the truth and they're going to say, it's over. You had your chance. You have been taking the sheep to the pit. You have been shepherds of the sheep of the flock of Nsetu who replaced Abele and taking them to the pit of Caina, Apollyon, and not away from his pit. Because Caina wants to drop all of the sheep of Tatanzambi into the pit because he hates Abele and he hates Nsetu. That's why Esau's right there with him. Hates Tatanzambi and everything. So the Hanoka, the Bana Bilaka, the promise, the Klistu, not Christmas, is the Chiluba Bana Betu Isolele, not leprechaun, the god of the Phoenicians and all the other nations, the Babylonians, whatever, Hittites, Jebusites, Moabites. He's not with Moloch. He's against him. You got to know the difference. All right. Again, I'll get to everybody's messages and notes when I can. Zola Quingi and Sambololo, Inaweza Yave Kongo Kutwala, and get ready. It's time to get ready to get away from Amon-Ra for good. The wheat and the tares will be collected. You're going to see it. It's coming. Ingipiti.